What is up, YouTube? Today we're going to be going over a money play found in the Oakland Raiders offense. Now, if you guys want more exclusive money plays and live streams, check out the link down below in the description. Today's video is the Oakland Raiders offense. I know there's one guy out there, and I'm sure there's a lot of people as well that are wanting more Oakland Raiders stuff. So here it is. We're going to be in the trips tight end, and we are using the Kansas City Chiefs team because, well, they got the cheetah, the speed demon, Tyreek Hill. Everybody knows him, and he's the biggest threat in Madden 20 regs, if I can even talk today. We're not going to really have to utilize his speed all too much. In fact, I'm going to have him at the number, I want to say it's a number, it's not the slot receiver, it's the middle receiver, where he is right now. I can't think of the number. We're going to have him there. We want our best catch and traffic person in that spot of the field. And since Tyreek Hill is going to be the highest overall on the team, he's going to have the best stats for all of it. So we're going to have him there. Hardman's going to be in the slot, and then Sammy Watkins is going to be out wide or running an out route. Now, if you can have a good route runner in the slot, that's going to be helpful. It's not really necessary. You're really going to be looking for a lot of speed in the slot position. Now, today's play is going to be PA counter go. Now, I was just testing this morning. I kind of had a realization. Some people might think you could run PA shot post with this. You can't, simply because the crossing route needs to be ran by the slot receiver. So, of course, if you were to have like something like slot apprentice or hot route master, which is known as HRM, you can put a crossing route on the slot receiver. But for those guys like me that don't have any of that, and as far as regs is concerned, there's very limited teams that have that. We're going to be using this PA counter go. We're going to go ahead and get into the 3-4 odd, cover 3 sky. This is going to cover all cover 3s, cover 3 cloud, cover 3 match, cover 3 buzz, cover 3 sky, cover 3 hard plat. You guys name it, it's going to take care of it. So really simple setup. What's so nice about this play is you can attack both sides of where the user is. Either middle linebacker they're on, you're going to be able to attack that very, very easily. The setup for this is you want to go put in your tight end on a delay fade. Normally he's going to be running an out route, and so it's going to take away his little ability of route running or whatever it may be. But the delay fade is a way that we can attack if they're using the right of screen middle linebacker. That's how we're going to attack that user. If they're using the left of screen middle linebacker, this is how we're going to attack that user. We're going to go ahead and put Y on a curl, X on an out route, and then we're going to put RB and just cancel the play action. Play action this year really, it doesn't do as much as it did last year when we were facing like big nickel and those shed defense, more so those stunt defenses. This year it doesn't really do all too much. Now, one part that's extremely important with this as well, there's a couple things you need to know about this. First off, I don't know, maybe it's just practice mode, but if you have trips on the right side, you won't be able to do this motion. I just want to say that was maybe a little bug I was running into in practice mode specifically. So maybe hop into a game and just find out for yourself. But make sure that you do have trips on the wide side of the field so you could run inside zone and try to get to the right hash so then you can start motioning over to the player that we're going to motion. The person that we're motion snapping is going to be Sammy Watkins on this out route. Now, you could run the stock as is and beat this cover 3 on the sideline unless they play hard flats and they don't base align. Then it's going to be a little tricky. But just for a simple cover 3, the reads are as follows. Curl, out, or crossing route with the delay fade if there was a user in this situation. So we're going to go ahead and motion in X, and we're going to attack both sides of the field. Every side of the field, you're going to snap the ball when he gets in between the two defenders. And then you're going to roll out, and you can see right there, bam, this crossing route is going to be money against almost any coverage in the game with the exception of cover 4 palms. So we're going to do this one more time. We're going to cancel play action, put A on a delayed fade, not a streak, delay fade as pretty much essentially a check down, just in case the user's on one of these two middle linebackers. We'll be able to attack both of them. And then we're going to put X on an out route, Y on a curl route. Now, why, it kind of depends on how this hook curl, where the M icon is, it depends on how he plays this crossing route. If he plays the crossing route, you're going to be able to hit that curl route. If he plays the curl route, you're going to be able to hit that crossing route or the delay fade. If they are to user, let's just move the mic icon. If they're using this middle linebacker and they chase that crossing route, you're going to release that delayed fade by hitting the A button for about a 5 to 10 yard gain. If you have a faster tight end, it's going to be a lot more helpful. So we're going to go ahead and do this one more time. We're going to motion this over. We're going to look and see how where the mic icon is, or that M icon. We're going to see how that hook curl plays this crossing route. If it plays it aggressively, we'll hit the curl route. Otherwise, we're going to wait for the crossing route. So let's go ahead and motion this guy in. Motion snap. And right here, bam, you can see he plays the crossing route, and we can hit the curl route. Now, the out route, it can be an option if you don't motion him out. We'll go ahead and just run it like this as is. We're not going to motion this time. We'll snap the ball. We'll look for Sammy Watkins on the sideline. You can see right there, swerve catch for a gain of about 5 yards. But if you want to be able to open up that curl to the middle receiver, you're going to want to start motioning in that that out route to be able to clear out that part of the area to be able to hit that curl. Now, again, the curl is going to be dependent upon how that hook curl plays. Hook curl plays a crossing route. You're going to hit the curl, plays the curl. You're going to hit the crossing route. So just a couple things to keep in mind right there. Now, that's against any kind of cover 3. Let's move into a cover 4. I'm going to specifically go against a cover 4 drop show 2. Again, the play is going to be PA counter go. You can use this with the 49ers if you want George Kittle with his route tree that he has as tight end apprentice. That'd be a little helpful. I really haven't labbed route combos too much with that. But we're going to go into a cover 4 drop show 2. This is going to be different from quarters and palms. Obviously, quarters and palms have matching principles behind them. Cover 4 drop is just a plain old zone coverage. There's nothing really too special about it. So we're going to go ahead and put A on the delay fade. Again, that's going to be utilized in case the user was on where the mic icon or the M icon is. If he was using that crossing route, you're going to hit the delay fade, check and release, and off to the races you go. So let's go ahead and put Y on a curl, X on an out route. We'll cancel our play action. We've got our delay fade. That crossing route is going to be absolute money against cover 4 drop. It's going to be money against cover 2 motion snap. Right there, bam. Again, hook curl plays the crossing route a little more aggressively. We can hit that curl route. Now, that curl route's more effective when you're looking for a good check down. Let's do this one more time. This time we'll look for the crossing route. Now, one thing I did not mention at the beginning of this is you need to be about 30 yards or further. If you're the 20-yard line and you're trying to hit this crossing route against a cover 4 drop, you're going to find that it's going to get picked off by the outside zone. One final thing to mention, if there is a zoned out player as safety, just run inside zone to trying to get to the hash mark to where you can have trips on the opposite side, or on the same side of where that zoned out player is. You don't want this crossing route running towards a zoned out player. You want him running away. Again, zoned out players just get a better reaction, so we want to avoid that at all costs. So we're going to set this up again. Everything's ready to go. We're going to go ahead, motion this guy in. You can hit this out route. You can hit this crossing route, snap the ball. We'll go ahead and release the tight end. And right there, assuming the user was to chase the crossing route or whatever, you guys can see we can hit that check and release or the delay fade as well. We'll do this one more time. We'll hit this crossing route. Again, we're going to set it all up. This is what it looks like. Motion this guy in. Snap him when he gets between Tyreek Hill and Mecole Hardman. Roll out. Pass lead it to the outside. You can see right there. Dot. Really, really simple play. Now, let's get into cover 2. Cover 2. This is where it gets really, really tricky, and it's going to be dependent upon how the user reacts. I don't have, my other controller is dead right now, so I can't use it. But this is going to depend on what the user is doing. If the user, let's say, was using the opposite side or the trip side vertical hook, odds are that they're going to chase this crossing route completely across the field. If they're using the mid-read, oftentimes you'll see people put the mid-read into a middle third instead, or a deep zone. You're going to have the delay fade. If they, let's just say, use this vertical hook, I think that guy's blitzing right now. But if this was to be a vertical hook, if they were to use that guy, again, you're going to utilize the delay fade ran by your tight end. So let's go ahead and set this up again. In a stock cover 2, it's going to be a little more tricky, but against any kind of stock cover 2, you can hit this crossing route. If they're using a D-line, you hit that crossing route. If they're using a middle linebacker, just make a decision on who they're using. If they're using a safety, start putting somebody else on a streak. If they use the trip side safety, start putting Tyreek Hill on a streak. If they do decide to put, let's just say where Sammy Watkins is, where their corner is, I can't remember his name right now. If they put him on a deep zone, your first read is almost always going to be to see what that corner is doing. If they're putting him into a deep zone, you're going to hit that out route almost every single time. If they're flatting and having a deep zone, you're going to be able to hit that curl route. You guys kind of get the point. It's going to be really, really, really difficult to be able to guard all this no matter what kind of adjustments you put on the field. So let's go ahead and motion snap. We'll hit this crossing route with a pass lead up into the outside. And bam, it's right there. A little baby swerve catch. Dashing dead eye, a dot to Mecole Hardman. Now, there is one thing we can talk about. I'm probably going to do this in a separate video, how you can get 4 wide receivers out on the field. But for a stock cover 2 sake, you're going to be hitting that crossing route almost exclusively. Now, this delay fade is also an option. Again, it just depends on where their user is chasing. This out route, not really going to be a read. You can see we kind of get a little bit of a lucky read. Sometimes with cloud flats, you'll find that they're going to be able to jump it. If they do baseline, don't throw the out route. The out route's going to get jumped by a cloud flat. Throw the curl, depending again how the user chases it. But we're going to utilize this delay fade. I'm probably going to throw a blind here, guys, okay? So bear with me on that one. But we're going to try throwing this delay fade as if there was a user to be chased down that crossing route. So just kind of keep that in mind with this. Again, my controller is dead. I normally have 2 controllers out there, but we'll motion snap. We're going to roll out. We're going to release that fade route, and bam, it gets right there. Easy dot. Yeah, kind of a good way of how a user might chase it. Kind of a good way. But you guys can see with the delay fade, it's going to be super difficult for a curl route on one side, a delay fade on the other. A user is going to have to give up something at some point. Man defense also will get beat by this play as well. Tyreek Hill will beat his man coverage every single time, even against Stephon Gilmore. Curl routes and hitches both beat man coverage. Now, a recommendation I would have with this is if you have route technician, I want to say it's called, on your slot apprentice, I think there's crossing specialist or something like that. For you guys that play MUT a little bit more, go ahead and put that on your slot receiver so that you can get a little bit better of animation, catching animations, whether it be rack ags, straight up rag cat, or ag catch, rag catch. We all know, I don't know what that means. But possession catch, you're going to get better animations with those route chemistries or whatever you guys want, route abilities, whatever you guys want to call them. You're just going to get better animations with them as far as catching is concerned. So again, cover 2, it kind of depends if they are baselining. Don't hit the out route, just hit the crossing route every single time, or the delay fade. It's going to be money. There's too much for somebody, one person alone to guard. So we'll roll out. We're going to go ahead. Yes, cheat him. Light cheat still. But you guys can see right there, we're able to hit that crossing route over the top of a cloud flat. Now let's get into cover 4 quarters and cover 4 palms. Quarters is going to be easier to beat than palms. And there's a reason behind it, because they both have a little bit different match principle behind it. But we're going to go back into this PA counter go. We're going to go into cover 4 quarters, and we're going to go ahead and set this up the same exact way. So A on the delay fade, cancel play action, Y on a curl, X on an out route. Motion them over and snap the ball. So you can see right here, we'll be able to hit this crossing route fairly easily. Quarters, not going to play it all too well. Palms, going to play it very, very well. But if you guys were noticing on the left side of the field, on the trip side, we could hit this curl route as well. Again, same thing as a cover 3. The difference is in the cover 4 quarters, you have a 3-rec hook. That 3-rec hook will stay on the crossing route for a little bit of time, and of course if it's a user, you got your delay fade, but then it will eventually bite off and come back and work its way back to the middle of the field. We're going to look for the curl route right here. Don't throw the out route, but we're going to look for the curl route. Motion him in, motion snap, and we're going to be able to have this curl route as well. You can see, bam, easy gain of about 10 yards. You can hit that out route depending on what kind of flats they play. If they have a curl flat, you're going to be able to hit that. If they have quarter flat, don't throw. If they have hard flat, don't throw. If they have cloud flat, again, don't throw it. Otherwise, you're going to pay for it almost every single time. But same thing, Y on a curl, X on an out, crossing route or curl route in a quarter or palms, depending on how they play it. But bam, right there, you can see rat cat. That was like a possession. I don't know. We tried rat catching that, but you guys can see we get the diving animation instead. But we're able to hit the out route in this situation because it's a stock cover 4 quarters, and quarter flats, they just don't play. They don't really play all that well. He didn't reroute anybody actually. But again, we'll do this one more time, then we'll move on to palms, the most difficult formation, or sorry, the most difficult defense to be able to beat in this. And for the most part, palms, if you have a good user, you're going to be able to bag this play up fairly well. You can see right there, that time the quarter actually played it pretty good, but because we get a rack ag, we're going to get a touchdown out of it anyways. So let's do this one more time against quarters, excuse me, and then we'll get into palms. So we're going to set it up the same exact way. You saw earlier that the outside quarter did not play the crossing route. And that's kind of the issue with quarters and palms, is sometimes you can see right here, if he doesn't get bumped, bam, you You can see this time he didn't play it. We got a touchdown out of it. So it's kind of a random thing. It's a little bit frustrating, but you guys can see hit the curl or hit this crossing route. Crossing route, depending on how the outside quarter plays it, you generally are going to be able to hit that anyways. So let's go back into trips tight end, and let's go against cover 4 Palms. This is a really hard defense to beat because it's just simply how well it plays. I think I just saw Palms. There's Palms. So we're going to set it up the exact same. So A on a delay fade, Y on a curl, X on an out route, and the read against a cover 4 Palms, at least CPU, is going to be this curl route every single time. If it was a user, of course, it's going to be a little different because a user is going to react a little bit better. But it's right there, easily fitting in a 11-yard dot. I'm going to show you guys what's going to happen against this crossing route. This crossing route is, generally speaking, going to get double teamed, and it's not going to be able to be a read. So let's just go ahead and snap this ball. And okay, here we go. It's right there. He's bagged. That's not a read whatsoever, and that's what's going to happen with Palms. Sometimes that outside quarter will play it as well. So both the outside and inside quarter, or sometimes the quarter flat and inside quarter, will double up on him and just completely smother that crossing route. So it's kind of results may vary, and that's why we're looking for a crossing specialist as a slot receiver, because you can get better ag animations. That's pretty much all there is to it. You get rack ags, you get better aggressive catches. That's all there is that you need to know about it. So we'll set this up one more time. We're going to look for this curl route. I know I can hit this curl route every single time. Bam. Low point pass. Don't bullet it. Don't high point. Don't lob. Don't touch. Bullet pass. Low point pass. It's going to be absolute money against cover 4 Palms. Now, I was talking about a little bit about a 3-rec hook earlier. If you guys don't really know how a 3-rec hook plays, I've got a 3-4 bear defense that talks about the 3-rec hook. So be sure you check that out. That is in the description. But here, right here, this is the 3-rec hook playing a 3-rec hook. So he passes it off, quarter flat, passes it off to inside quarter. Realistically, what should happen is his outside quarter should come and play it as well. But what's going on this side? Let's go and back up. I want to talk about Palms in a little bit more detail. So the out route, I kind of mistimed it. You want to snap it to when he's pretty much right there. So you let him just get right past Tyreek Hill and snap the ball. You don't want him inside the slot receiver. But you'll want to snap a little bit earlier than that. But the quarter flat is going to play this out route. You can see because these two are respecting more so the deep pass, you're going to be able to hit this underneath for a low point dot. Do not straight bullet it. Be sure you're pushing the LT button to low point passing. You can get about 8 to 10 yards. Now, this 3-rec hook is going to be a little tricky. A lot of times what you'll find, what people do, they'll, in a cover 4 quarters or a Palms even, they'll use this 3-rec hook, and I'm just going to simulate what they'll often do. They'll just almost always follow this crossing route, or if they see that curl getting open, they'll go use the open thing. But because we have this delay fade, you can see right there, Tyreek Hill. Travis Kelce. Travis Kelce usually gets manhandled. But because we have this delay fade, if they were to chase down that curl route, we can go ahead and say, hey, Tyreek Travis. I don't even know what the fluff I'm saying. But Travis Kelce is going to be able to get open as well. So that's why this particular route combo is going to be so hard to guard, because there's going to be a couple things open. Yes, in this situation, we may not have the crossing route open. But if they chase the crossing route, they chase the curl route, you're going to have your tight end on a release, a delay fade. That's what's called a check and release, essentially is what it is. But you're just telling him when you want him to go downfield. So let's do this one more time. I'm going to try my best to simulate what a user might do. Again, we're going to blindly throw it right here. So keep that in mind. So let's go ahead and release. Each right there, bam. The quarter flat's going to play it. But of course, let's just say if the user is on the quarter flat or the user zone, whatever zone he may be on, you're going to be able to get a little bit better of a pass lead often for a pass lead to the inside. And the quarter flat you'll find isn't going to always be jumping that route. So that's a little bit about cover 4 quarters, Palms, drop, cover 3, cover 2. Let's get into man defense. Now, man defense, that's going to be where it's going to be a little tricky to get this crossing route open. Last year, crossing routes beat man coverage. This year, if you guys don't know, they don't beat man coverage. I'm going to go into, let's just go into big dime 2. Let's go into big dime 236. Will, come on, cover 2 man. There we go. So we're going to go ahead and set this up the same exact way. X on an out, Y on a curl. Now, with Marlon Humphrey, that's his name. Marlon Humphrey has man up, so he's going to be able to play man defense 50,000 times better. Even with that ability, although, we're still going to be able to hit this curl route against man coverage. On top of that, if you guys do have crosser specialist, or crossing specialist, whatever it's called, this is really where that's going to shine, because you're still going to be able to throw this crossing route with a good pass lead away from the defender. This out route, not a read. It's just not a read. Man defense, for some reason this year, plays man or out routes really good. And right there, we're going low point. That's a low pass. Okay, Patrick. But you guys can see right there, if Patty Mahomes can make a little 10-yard throw, we're going to be able to get that in with a low point pass. Essentially, it's the same thing as a cover 4 quarters and palms. So we'll snap this ball again. Oh my goodness, what's going on? We got receivers running into receivers. We got our crossing route doing who knows what. But if the game cooperates with you, you're going to be able to hit this curl route. If you're running into this issue, then you might want to just say screw it, and if you know it's man defense, motion slant this guy or do something stupid. I don't know. So it's just we'll switch this up just to show you guys that he's going to get open. Bam, low point pass. You can see right there, that's a man up ability, and that curl route is going to get open every single time. Now, earlier yesterday, I wasn't running into this issue where my guys were running into each other and it was just like a absolute cluster. But if that is the issue, you might just need to start throwing out a motion slant. Motion slant will not get pressed. It will beat man coverage every single time. And if you have a fast wide receiver against a slow DB, I don't know if any MUT players are slow now. They're all fast. But you're going to be able to just break that off fairly easily. So let's just go and do this one more time. Hopefully our guys don't just go all bazooka on us. Here we go. What the fluff is okay. Go, Hardman. Go, Pokemon. I don't know what was going right there. It's like he was getting rerouted back to the out. That was the best press I've ever seen. But if you don't get cheated, you're going to be able to hit this cross route. I don't know. That was like the best prep. Like, what the fluff? He was like running ninja. What are you doing? You're running a crossing route. You're running back outside. Then you're running back. This is not a double move. This is a simple crossing route. But anyways, a little off track right here. If you don't get rerouted into a double move, you're going to be able to hit that crossing route almost every single time, especially if you guys have a huge speed mismatch. Now, in MUT, it's going to be a completely different ball game because most DBs, most corners by now have high press and high speed. So speed really isn't going to be what's going to be your savior. It's going to be more so crossing specialist is what's going to get you the best animations when you're running this particular play. So this beats man, beats cover 4 palms, quarters, drop, cover 3, cover 2, cover 0. If you're having a man blitz, I kind of don't recommend this, but it's still, it's viable. It's viable. It's just going to be tricky to get this ball off because trip tight end does not have good blocking unless you know what you're doing with motioning people in. It's going to be really hard to be able to just block your tight end and running back and expect to pick up a 7-man or an 8-man blitz. If it's an 8-man, you're going to want to start motioning people over. Otherwise, if they're sending a heavy amount of pressure, you're almost always going to be able to hit this crossing route as a snap there. Now, of course, this is just a basic cover 2 with a 4-man pass rush. If it's pinch buck O, be careful about this. The thing I would suggest is probably just streak your tight end or motion slant Sammy Watkins. Do something to get a quick route open, and that's going to be your best bet for attacking a heavy blitzer. So with that being said, if you guys are new to the channel, be sure you hit that subscribe button. Check out the links down below in the description for more exclusive content. And until next time, get in the lab. This has been T Meister. See ya.